hand. Stop licking your hand. Morning.
Morning. Wait, I need to go. Oh, wait. There you go.
I'm just catching up with all the messages from yesterday.
It was a bit mad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gardening all yesterday, and then we were Zooming all last night, so I didn't catch up.
It's my gardening day today because we just got the garden done. I've got nothing. I'm so excited. I just bought some bits. I've got a magnolia. I've got a few like bits and pieces, herbaceous stuff, so I can't wait.
Oh, lovely.
My first time ever doing it as well, so I'm kind of excited.
I've got loads of bits and pieces if you want anything.
I work at a wholesale plant nursery.
I might have things that you don't sell.
Well, if you want anything, come round and we can sort you out as well. But yeah, thank you. That goes for all of you, by the way. If you ever need anything plant-wise, come see us.
Right.
I might do that. I had my back garden landscaped last year. When did we have that done? I still haven't got any plants in it.
Yeah, no, just literally just pop round. I'll sort you out. I'm always there.
I've got some raised beds, a raised bed that I need to, and we actually got pretend
you've gone
grass this time. And I don't like pretend grass, but we thought because of the dogs, it would be a lot better. And actually, it's worked out really well. I've got provolone in the front, but it's pretend in the back.
I've just brought in some new grasses that are dog friendly because obviously with Rem and Barley at the nursery, Remy kept trying to eat them when she was a pup. So I looked at like the whole thing and I thought there was like a massive venture for like dog friendly. So we do have some dog friendly grasses and we've got some dog friendly like rosemaries, all that kind of stuff that is all fine for dogs as well because we know what they're like.
Ooh. So yeah,
I kind of got my dad on the thing.
Share that to Little Tykes for us, Leanne.
That would be good.
What do you want?
Share that link for those with the little advert for Little Tykes.
Oh yeah, if I make one up, what day is it? Tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, I can probably make one up for the marketing bit tomorrow and then send it over to you. Do you just want like plants that are good for dogs?
Yeah, the fact that you're doing it,
Brilliant, wasn't it?
A bit of advertising for you as well, isn't it? But
yeah, we don't sell retail at the moment. But at the moment we don't. I just like let my people that I know come in. But other than that, but yeah.
So it's I'm a friend of Leanne.
Literally, it's just like, I know Leanne, can I come in? And they're like, yeah, that's fine.
What sort of things do you do, Leanne? Everything or?
Pretty much everything from houseplants. We specialise in bedding and herbaceous perennials. Herbaceous perennials, because that's kind of my thing, as well as houseplants. Yeah. And I've kind of brought that in. But yeah, it's bedding, but we've kind of gone away from that. But yeah, herbaceous perennials, houseplants, anything for like basket patio plants, all that kind of stuff. So we do pretty much everything. And we can always get stuff in as well.
Right. No. I've just ordered a tree, so I'm waiting for a tree at the moment.
What type of tree?
It is Malus wedding bouquet. It holds its fruit for a long time, hopefully.
Sounds good.
Never heard of that. I'll warn you all, my internet's playing up, so sometimes I might not respond to you because you keep freezing. I keep missing chunks.
So do I, but not for that reason.
Fading out.
Yes.
Well done on last night, Julie.
Sorry, darling.
Well done on last night.
And I didn't sleep last night because I watched it over again twice, and then obviously picking fault and whatever, and then.
Do we need to come over and slap you?
Yeah.
It sounds like we do.
It was brilliant. It really was. And there was no hint of nerves on the actual programme at all.
So how impressed would you be if I told you that the original because Ruby only asked us like 5 days ago to volunteer. And the original was, oh, I'll talk about puppies, you know, because that was the only thing I thought I probably knew enough about to make a talk up. And then I was kind of watching a couple of days, so it's Friday, and I was watching other people's stuff and who was going to speak. And I knew some of them were puppy, or in my opinion, puppy experts, and more likely to choose the subject. And they'd, the ones that had put titles on had titled them, giving the impression that they were probably going to speak about puppies or something related to puppies. And I thought, well, I don't want to be just going over the old stuff. There's tons and tons out there, isn't there, already about old stuff? So let's find a different angle. And it suddenly occurred to me, the human side. So that whole thing was written in like 5 hours.
Well, you should be impressed with this. Will you shut up? We should have done barking.
No, but Julie, I agree with Andrew. You were really good. We watched it too, and we were really interested. So it was really good.
Yeah, well, I hope it was angled enough. My concern was that if it had been too much just for dog trainers, that it might have put the puppy owners and the dog owners off watching. But hopefully there was enough in there to make that interesting for them as well. You know, we'll see. So, as everybody else, we've had, what we've done so far, gardening. What about new puppies, Leanne? What's that all about?
Oh, so he's my family's new pup, Aspen. So yeah, he's apparently he's a bit of a naughty boy already, but we'll see.
I mean, that kind of comes with the breeding, though, doesn't it? I mean, they're busy, intelligent. They're you know, it's not a.
Yeah. Apparently he can't not do something when he's awake. He's got to be. I've got to pop into work later, so I'm going to see him. So I'm going to have puppy cuddle.
Photos. Oh, and
Yep.
videos as well. I mean, let's not skimp here.
You'll have little bear club videos and photos.
And what about the other young boy in our family? How's he getting on? Is he driven?
Oh my God. Yeah, he's certainly found his feet. Yeah.
Stomping around with them.
He is, yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't look at my tooth. He's really.
Go on, get it over with. Just splash it at us. Go on. There it is. It's mine. I've forgotten which side it is.
I saw it that time.
These two are completely fake, and those two had to be rebuilt because they were all gone.
Oh God, you look like a naughty schoolgirl.
No banjo music.
She's been kissing boys, I know.
Yeah.
She hasn't. No, it's all good fun.
And what about that horrible puppy then? We interrupted. I've forgotten about you two, to be honest.
Yeah, no, he's good. He is good. This week we're going to be trying to leave him and Sid alone for a short period. Well, it'll be for a couple of hours, but the cameras will be on him, and my son's at home, so if he needs to intervene. But I'm hoping they'll just sleep. But I'm dreading it.
These are the little milestones, aren't they? You forget how much anxiety is involved in that whole. Am I ready? Is the puppy ready? You know.
Well, I think I was a little bit optimistic in thinking I was going to get him crate trained in 2 weeks, which didn't happen. And he uses his crate. He goes in there to sleep if he feels like it. But I haven't shut him in and gone out. He's not ready for that yet. But thinking back, Sid wasn't until she was about 3 months old. Sid wasn't ready for it. But she took to it very easily. I don't think he's going to do, because he wants to be with Sid.
I completely failed with Twig when I got Twig, you know, with her rough upbringing. The last person who had her before me was the dog trainer that originally brought her back from Spain. And when we had that 2 hour interview, if you like, or test session. She came and she sat in my house for several hours. And she said several times, well, she is crate trained. And so I thought, oh, get the crate out then. Put the crate out. The look on that dog's face, there was no way. No way. It was complete and utter. All the stops went on, you know. It wasn't just a case of, oh, maybe I'll have a look, maybe I'll investigate. It was proper fear. So that went out the window the first day. And then it was 2 days later, and I think she was 22 or 24 weeks when I first got her. 2 days later, she jumped the stairgate. So it was like, okay, so limiting your access to the house is going to be an issue, clearly. So we had to face it. We had to deal with it for that particular dog.
Well, it's individual, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
and
see.
That was because I didn't end up then going out or leaving the house without a dog for a full 3 months while I was slowly introducing her to the idea of being with my dogs and being able to cope with separation.
Yeah.
You know, that because I couldn't confine her, I was up every 5 seconds intervening in whatever she was in. So,
well, I do people's ironing from home, and so I go upstairs to do the ironing, and so they're left down here on their own for an hour. I am upstairs, so I'm here, but they don't know that because the door's shut, so they think I'm out, and they're just curled up together. But it's if they start play fighting and Sid's a bit boisterous and knocks him flying, although he's a bit of a tank, so we'll see. He gets his own back.
oh, bless. And what is he, a decent cuddler then, or is he a bit?
Yeah, he's a bit like that. He cuddles with Harry. He doesn't with me for some reason.
Don't take it personally. You know, we have preferences, don't we, as to people we want to be close to. There'll be something about your Harry's chemical makeup that feels safer.
Well, I think also I have sort of been quite reserved from conception to getting him because I was just dreading something going wrong. So I think only now am I starting to bond with him. I've held myself back just in case for some reason. So he probably picks up on that.
It'll come, you know, and that was the other thing with Twig when I first got her. I mean, that's heartbreaking. And you've got this new puppy and she was very aloof. She still is to a degree, even now, not with me, but you know, you've seen her with other people. It's very much by choice. But yeah, that was kind of, especially when she was so bloody cute and you just wanted to grab her and hold her and she's like, I don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah, it'll come.
Well, and exciting, it looks like we might actually be able to get back in the building at some point, isn't it?
Yay.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it'll be hilarious because then we've got to deal with that whole getting them used to being around each other again, moving around each other again. Although I think because of our little beach, you know, fun, I think everybody certainly that came with us to that, we all got on okay, didn't we? There wasn't any sort of stressiness between the dogs.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at you doing.
Doing
Her face pack. When she went flat on her face.
Oh, mine.
See, and I still feel responsible for that. I feel a bit
So
guilty.
you should. So you should.
Absolutely.
Especially when we found a nice way back.
But
We're gonna have to get the Coast Guard out to us.
it was all worth it.
And you weren't that dirty, really. You did it in a very ladylike way. And you're gonna fall flat on your face in the mud. I don't think anybody could have done it with any more style.
You're doing well, Andrea. You're doing I think you're being very kind, Julie. I think it was hilarious. I think it was a real comedy moment.
I think what we may be missing out on is the actual truth, because Andrea said that she almost wet herself.
There's no almost.
Oh dear.
Don't deflect, Julie, from your part in it.
Oh dear.
Yes,
Right.
it was entirely my fault. I didn't plan it well enough, and you know, what did they poor preparation?
Piss
and
poor.
Piss poor preparation leads to something. I can't even remember the full statement, but this is life.
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Dean always says that to me, and it's so annoying. I hate it. Annoying.
I'm the most unprepared person in the world.
Same. I'm literally just like, okay, I'll do this, and he's like, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. I'm just like, shut up now, Dean. Like, that's enough.
Alternatively, we could label those of us who do not have good preparatory skills as flexible and adaptive.
I like that.
I'm just impulsive and an idiot. That's basically me.
See, I'm two separate personalities with this. I'm either completely A-type personality and have to be super prepared and can't stop until it's, you know, completely minute detail. Or I go, I haven't got time to do that. I'm just going to have to wing it.
Yeah, but is that your anxiety compared to your natural personality?
They're
So
both
if your anxiety made you an A-type, because I'm the same, and my anxiety at work has made me massively A-type. But then normally, like when I'm in my normal life, I'm just ridiculous.
No, when you got.
I would say I'm entirely both,
Okay.
which is a really hard place to live, because I'm never settled, you know, because my A-type personality be going, we really should be doing this, we really should be doing this, we really, and then the other side of me is going, fuck off. Just fuck off. You know? And so it's a battle right up until the moment when I actually collapse and go to sleep. It's a complete battle, because my personality is going, we should be doing this, we should be doing this, we should be doing this, and the rest of my body's going, but we can't, you know. And it's like, sometimes it's like living with a teenager, because I'm my own nag. You should be picking this up, you should be doing that, you should be, yeah. So it depends. So I would say I'm absolutely both, and yeah, that is hard. Life in it. And it's also apparently one of the people who do tend to push themselves a lot harder. It's a recognized issue with them, you know, that they hold themselves to higher standards than everybody else does, but they don't realize that they do. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's about me. Let's do something fun instead. Again, on the subject of preparedness and having done or not done. No, I didn't do any. But I thought what we might do is a little bit on recalls, but adding in the sort of lead work stuff that we've been doing. All right, so some of it you've already done and seen, so I know it's kind of, I'm very aware now, because we spent quite a lot of time together. We are going over old ground, but we're hopefully doing it in enough different ways that it's making it worthwhile to you. Yeah, or even just practicing stuff and seeing if you can still do it, really. Thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and move my camera and my computer without pulling the whole lot off, so we can get a view down that space. It might be a little bit longer.
I don't know.
See, I don't know how long my camera cable is. it'll have to do, I think. So, shove the, my chair's got a handle on it, and if I'm sitting on it, it's a bit lower. And if I move it under the desk when I get off, this handle gets stuck under the desk, and then I can't move the chair. So, do you want to play? You want to play? Have a look. Oh, you might have to lock the old lady. Let's just mute you so that who's not muted yet. Oh, there we go. And I'll mute Jill. I think that should just leave me with speaker view. Yeah. So what should we do with you? Can you lay on your bed and stay down? And I want Twiggy. So, what I want you to do, throw your dog away, piece of food, throw your dog away, go and get it. No, I'm going to have to kick maybe downstairs, aren't I? You're a pain in the bum. Should we use, no, you can. Thing is, Dodo's off with Dawn again, isn't he? No. Go down there. Threw her down the stairs. She's not having a very good legs day today. So I didn't really want to. What she'll do now is she'll come to the top of the stairs and sit the other side of the stair gate, which is a really uncomfortable position for her. But this is life. Okay, so throw your dog away. Go get it. Go get it. Go on. Where's Dodo when you need him? Go find. Look, go find. Go. Find it. Yes, good girl. Here. Throw them through your legs. Yeah? And then throw them away again. You are pointless. Go on. Go. Find it. She says, I'm not doing it. You're going to kick me out. That's what the problem is. She thinks she's going to be banned from the room and she wants to be in here because that's where all the fun happens. But I didn't want to move all the beds because they're heavy.
Can you work the other way, Julie?
The only space I've got, because I haven't moved the beds, is like this bit here. It's tiny. So we'll have a go. Here you go, ready? Go find it. Twig. Through there. Yeah. It's got it stuck under a bed. Dogs. Give me that, the pain in the bum. Yeah, come out of the way. I'll just fold that one back as well. You ready? Here. Through. And throw. Oh, it's gone under the computer. And through. And through. They get this little pattern going. Here. That's all I want you to do. It's nice and simple, but I want it really flowy. So throw them away. As they come back, let me make sure you can see. Go that way. As they come back, you are taking that nose. She's on the food. And I'm rolling that food along the floor so that they follow it through. Yeah, so that they're not losing contact with food. Because if you throw the food before, as they're coming back towards you, most dogs are going to choose to go round behind you. They're going to avoid going through your legs. They're going to go around behind you instead. So you need to make sure you've got that nose and you take the nose with the food. Hello, good girl. Come on then. Take the nose with the food all the way through. Good girl. All right, so have a bash. Get that flow. Remember your recall cue, whatever you're using, as they're turning back towards you. Beautiful. So the benefit of doing these patterns of repetitive behavior is what we're increasing is muscle memory. We're practicing the same response over and over in return for that cue. So we're adding that cue as they're coming back in. But what they're actually practicing, the benefit to the recall with this patterning of this behavior is the fact that they come all the way in. So quite often when people are training recalls, they'll end up with a really good recall, but a dog who hangs back. So a dog who only comes into that sort of space where getting hold of their collar is then going to be awkward. If they like and they're used to coming in here, now I've got a dog, if in an emergency situation, I can get hold of that collar much easier. All right. But I think it's also fun. It's a nice way of burning off energy if you're not going anywhere or doing anything. So the other one then, dog's on your left side. I want you to throw with your left hand. As they come back here, catch with your left hand. Take them all the way around you and throw with your left hand. Catch with your left hand, take them all the way around you, throw with your left hand. If they're on the right side, guess which hand you use. Okay? So have a go at that one. I'm going the wrong way, Jude. That's it. That's right. If it feels awkward, you're doing it wrong. That's it. Should feel really easy. And remember, we're not just programming their muscle memory, we're also programming ours, because we're doing this repetitive repeat. Now, if you want to get really fancy with this, you can do that turn with your quarter feet movement. So your feet are not moving off a single spot. All right. So if you want to add that, if you can think about your feet at the same time. Yeah. Nicely, Anne, well done. Now we're bringing a little bit of control. We've still got excitement because they're still getting the chase, but we've got excitement with control. Because we're thinking about our feet, we have to slow down that 360 turn. And the dog sticks with us. And the next thing to really consider with this is head position and shape and position of the dog. If you want to take it to that level and you've got your feet sorted, now you can sort out the position of the dog as well. Beautiful, Leanne, well done. And nice, Sid and Andrea, fantastic. Oh, Jill's competing with 2 dogs. That's always so much easier. But you're coping, you're getting there. Well done. Maria, I'm seeing bits of you and bits of your dog, but the view's not brilliant. I know it's really awkward. It's going to be fun getting these out into the big spaces, isn't it? I'm so excited. Beautiful. All right. So again, that patterning, I like to do them on both sides. If you're only training for obedience, you're only going to train on the left. I keep saying, and I've said right from the beginning, I don't want my dog to be off balance in their muscle formation. I want them to be used to using both sides of their body equally. And likewise, for myself, if I'm always going to be walking my dog on one side, I'm going to get strain in my back and in my knees from always working to the one side. So it also helps you if you're working both sides. Looks like a fitness program, doesn't it? When I do that. Okay, so now we're going to mix it up for the dog. We want to go 1 through, 1 turn. Okay, so throw your dog away. Here, through, catch, throw, catch, turn. You've lost her. It's on here. That's it. Throw her away. Call them. Here, through, catch, yeah. Turn. Come on then. Throw. Like that. So again, this is about you thinking on the fly, but it's also get a pattern going. So 1 through, 1 turn. Pick a hand, stick to that hand, otherwise you'll really mess your brain up. Kisses. Kisses and snuggles. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Kisses and snuggles. Doing like Twiggy did and went, oh, I don't know, it's a new pattern, I don't understand what we're doing. So what you can do for your dog to help them, as they're coming back and you're about to do your 360 turn, make sure your legs are shut. So they've got a real visual cue. When the legs are open, go through the legs. When the legs are closed. So remember, you're doing a whole 360 as well as you through the legs. Through the legs, and your next one is a 360. Throw them away again, through the legs, and then 360. All right, so we're throwing them away between each pattern at the moment. Judith's gone on to the next stage because she's clever like that. And what she's done is she's done through the legs and then straight into the 360. Okay, so it's a slight difference. So what I was doing was do one, throw them away, do the other, throw them away. All right, you've just taken it to the next stage, clever clogs. That's all right. Won't. Okay, so what we're going to do this time.
Can't follow instructions.
All right, darling, don't worry. So we're going to throw them away, call them in, send them there, catch them, yeah? And now straight into that 360. So we've gone straight to the 360, straight from through the legs, yeah? Throw them away, through the legs, catch. So this is what Judith was doing. Through the 360, and then throw them away again. All right, so we've put 2 moves together. We've put the through the legs and the 360 together, whereas before they were separate. Look at those dogs working. And straight into the 360 after the through the legs. Okay, and obviously with that one as well, if you want to tighten it up, you can start to be specific about how you're moving your feet on the 360, and you can start to be specific about where you want the dog's head to be. You can add your marker, in other words, you've just attained your throw, your roll away to the head position. So you can say, when you manage to stick your head in that position, that's when I'm going to say yes, and that's when I'm going to roll. That's beautiful.
I've gotten dizzy. I need a minute.
Yeah, no, I do. There's one thing I found with the obedience training when I was doing it with Tyke. I would spend, especially when he was getting really good at it, I would be doing my figure of eights with him in close work. And I don't even know if you've got enough room where you are. I don't think I have, but we'll have a look. Doing my figure eights with Tyke in close work. And then I'd look up and I'd go, oh, you know, because you're looking down at them when you're focusing to see, are we doing it right? That's a really good reason to get mirrors. You know, I think if you had the perfect solution, would be to be training obedient style work in like a ballet trainer's style with the 2 mirrors sets.
Ballet studio.
Yeah. All right, so we've got these dogs now who are starting to think that walking with us and moving with us is a really good idea. But what we haven't got is them understanding that when we turn into them, they need to swing their bottom away. Yeah? So what we need, we're going to mess about with the head a little bit. So we're here. I'm planning on turning my body in, and what I want her to do is to move her back end but keep her nose where it is. We can't go straight there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that head out but push it behind us and in. Take the head out, push it behind us and in. Okay, so come here. Head goes, so my hand is coming out, but it ends up right close to my bum. Okay, or to the back of your leg. So I bring her out and I bring her in. Now, an easy thing to do for this is to have a wall. All right, so we start, we're in this position. So she's side on to me, bring my hand out and backwards. Can you see she's got nowhere to go with that back end except to bring it round against the wall. If you've got a sofa or something, here we are. I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to, so I want them to end up behind you, in a straight line behind you. That's the aim. So if you've got a space where you can get them using a sofa or kitchen sides or something to block them so that they can't swing that back end. So they've got no choice but to swing that back end, is the word. They start facing in the same direction as you. Start with their head position where you like it to be when they're walking straight with you. And we're going to back them up into the cupboards. So take the head out away from you and then bring your hand back towards you. Beautiful, and play them there. So they end up behind your legs. Nice. Sid's a clever clog, so she just thinks she knows everything. So you do it a couple of times with her and she's like, I can do this. I know what I'm doing. So you can see she's already starting to move her back end almost before your hand starts moving.
That's the first time she's done it ever.
That's beautiful.
It's chicken. So
Yep.
better treats, definitely.
The power of chicken, absolutely. Nice. And I think everybody's got it. Is anybody struggling? Anybody really not getting it? Is that Jill? Are you saying I can't see you? Let me know. If it's a thumbs down, give us a thumbs down. You don't have to. Is it? Show me what you're doing. Show us what you've got. Let's see if we can change something. So all you're missing is you need to be a tiny bit closer to the sofa when you start. Because she's little, she's got enough room to step back and step out. Yeah, we don't want her to be able to step back and step out. We want her to have to move her bottom in as your hand comes out. So we start, let's just do your body language first, Jill, without a dog. All right, so you go there a minute so we can just see me. You can get on the bed if you like, but it's a bit awkward. Yeah? Get on the bed. Good girl. Go there. All right. So you've got your dog. No, go on your bed. You've got your dog here. They're face to face with us. They're down the leg. I'm going to put my hand out, which brings the nose out, and then I'm going to bring it in. So my hand position turns slightly. So I'm going out with the dog's head, and then I'm going to bring it in so that it ends up facing this way. Now remember, the cup of our hand is going to guide where the nose goes. So when I'm here, the nose is trying to push in there, which is going to bring the body of the dog straight with me. I bring it out so that I pull their head outwards, and then I'm going to tuck it back in so it's right behind me, so they're straight with me. So, as a dog, we're going to be here, straight, out and back, and pay there when they're behind you and they're straight behind you. Does that make sense? Do you want to have another go? And let's see if Jill can. So she's just really bendy as well, which doesn't help. That's it, don't worry. So help her, she's mixed up, that's why she doesn't want to come in. She's saying, I don't understand. You made it a little bit freaky, Mummy. It's new and it's scary. Yeah, so turn her head, really turn it out. Yeah, so we need to get that head turned out, and she's not, she's reluctant to at the moment. She's pushing her head in towards you. Get the head turned out, really rotate it. So if you remember, what we're trying to do to the dog is we're trying to get their head from straight position here to really, see, and again, she's now wanting to go backwards with it. If I just stop her from moving, I want her head to come like that on her body. That makes her want to move the rest of her body into straight. That's it. You've got it, I think. I missed it because I was busy chatting. Yeah, nearly. She's sitting because it's new for them. So they're going to push back a little bit against it. Don't keep going if she's a little bit worried by it, which I think she looks like she's kind of shutting down a little bit on it. So let's not make it too freaky for her. All right, you can always do little bits and add little bits rather than, so we started that one, didn't we, here, straight together. Now what we're going to do instead is start with them straight with you towards the corner. We're going to move backwards with them. So I'm moving my body as well this time. We're starting straight in a corner, move backwards with your dog. Can you see how now, I don't know how good your view is on that corner, but can you see how she's having to work her back end to get herself around that corner? Ready? Yeah. Get her in. Come here, close there. I'm going to move, and she has to move, and she's keeping that side-on position with me while we're both turning. I'm only turning within my tiny little spot. I'm not moving too much. Yeah, she's got to hold her head position right next to me. What does she do with the back end? She's got to figure out what to do with the back end because there's a corner in the way. That means she has to move the back end. All right, so if you've got a corner, has everybody got a corner that they can practice on? If you don't worry, find a corner later. We're starting straight on together with our backs towards the corner. And we're going to turn ourselves. Nice, Sid. So you see there. Now, Sid, you've actually got a beautiful setup with your kitchen because it's almost exactly the right size for you to finish that turn and add that last piece to it. Yeah? So what we're aiming at eventually is to be able to do the full 360. The dog does all the work with their back end, which Twiggy's not good at yet. So you see it's all back end movement. But if we were doing it together, and we're both turning, she's got to keep moving her back end so that her body's straight with me. I might have created a bit of a corner with this bed, which is more look than judgment. So in Andrea's kitchen, she's already got what looks like it might be the perfect spacing. All right, so we're going here. Come here. We're going to turn with the dog and turn with the dog. And can you see, because of the space and the barrier, she's got to move her back end. Yeah. Yeah. We're going in, we're turning, and the dog keeps straight with your body. Does that make sense? Now, to begin with, you can make that easy for them. So you're going to turn that head out so that the bum's more likely to turn, as well as turning because of the barrier. I mean, this is really hard work because dogs aren't used to using their back end this way. They're not aware of their back end in the same way. That's beautiful, Andrea. Well done. Nice, Maria's got it. And it looks like I missed the first bit. It looks like Tilly's almost got it, but she's going to do it like one of those little circus puppies. You know, I'm going to go backwards on my back legs. Tyke used to be really good at that. So for Poppy, what we could do is just reward for the head turn and forget about the back end. Let's get her comfortable with the idea that you're going to turn her head away before you reward her. Let's just see if we can get that neck bend. That's it. And just keep rewarding just for the neck bend. Because she's reluctant to push that head out. And if she's reluctant to push the head out, the back end isn't going to move either. So remember, the other way to get flexibility in hind leg movement and for the dog to become aware of hind leg movement is to keep the front feet still and to encourage them to move the rest. So the way we keep the front feet still, okay, I think just watch Leanne for a second. Yes, she's a little bit. She just lost it right at that last minute, only because I was watching them. Is to keep the front end still. And again, I still haven't managed to think about what I could use as mine. Let's see about this. I need something that's not going to flip on this floor. I need to bring one of my balance pads. Can you put paws on there? It's not too awful. So she's got paws, front feet are fixed. I'm going to take her head that way. So to begin with, I'm not moving. Take her head that way. Can you see she's got to move her back end? Does that make sense? Now I can start to add me, but I'm going to take her head, keep your paws on there, take her head, and it can just be an alternative way other than having to have that corner. Good girl. It can be an alternative way to get that back end moving. So don't know if you've got anything you can have a go at that with. And we're rewarding back end movement, but we're luring that back end movement by moving the head. Can I come under there and get that out? Because otherwise you'll dig me wires out. Bloody loads of food under there. Okay, so we've got lots of different ways that we've kind of done it, haven't we? We've gone, hey doggy, the best place in the whole wide world is to be straight with my body. Come here. The best place to be is here. Come on, darling. Yeah, up here with your head up here. Yes. Can you find that same position? Yes. So we told them already, this is the best place to be. Now what we're going to start saying is, if I move my body, you need to move yours to maintain that straight position with me. Okay, so we're going to say, yes. If you make an effort to move your back end. Now, as you've seen, you can do that by keeping their front feet still and turning the head, or you can do it by using a corner. So it's all about teaching their bodies to recognize and using your marker to tell them what it is that's made you reward them. So tiny little foot shuffles. If you're going for your holding head position, you could mark and reward any effort to move that back end to begin with. Even if they're not managing to find the perfect position again, you could reward any effort to keep their body straight with yours. Nice, Andrea, well done. And you can feel then how doing all of those little bits of introducing the idea to the body, to the dog's body, actually then it starts to come together and they start to understand what it is that you're trying to get at. Did you feel that, Andrea? Because I saw that. And if you want, let's have a look if I can find her. Let's see if I can find her. So when I found that Tyke was too stressy doing obedience and we weren't really enjoying it together, what I did was I went looking for things that are similar. Can't find it. I'm just looking on Tinternet, which is why I'm pulling faces. No, I'm not going to be able to find the person that I'm looking for. But if you, or maybe we'll watch a video if I can find it. So I was looking for something else that was just as sort of complicated, so it would keep us both busy. And I came across this lady, which I'm still not managing to find. They're so old now, some of these videos. Oh, somebody else has got the same name. That's not helping. Somebody else who's got the sort of a consulting business is So, oh, I've got one. All right. I'm going to share this for you. So you're ready to watch a video in a minute. Bring them forward. I'll just take my leg just to have them go back far. So again, I've done that all my life, you know, to how I taught them 4 years ago, they put the dogs to heel like that. When I went out to competition, those people put their dogs to heel like that, but then they also were very good at their turns. So he always thought us put our dogs to heel like that, right to pet class, you know. Only when I was in pet class, I did that. So what we used to do is take them back, bring them forward, sit them on whatever, feed them. So it's a long time before the dog moves its back end itself without that signal. But now with Kindle, you know, you click back for people, feed them when they're next to your leg. So they're actually getting clicked for how they got there, which is going that back end, isn't it? How they get to that heel position is by using the back end. So it's using that back end. So you click that one, so they learn very quickly. So I would even put close on, we were close on when they're back there. And with a little tiny hook, within no time at all, I can just hide the food beyond my legs, because they know what they got clicked for is moving that back end. So if I put the food there, or when he was tiny, I put the food there, you know, and it goes. So it's a swinging of the ball. So it's using their back legs. Yeah. Again, putting the verbal command close on. Close. Yeah. Now, if you keep the dog's head level, it'll stay in the stand. So, oh. It'll stay in the stand. And if you want them to sit, you obviously put their head up. Yeah. So now you can put the sit. So we still do the back end. You put the sit. Yeah. Or you can just click the back end and still get them. All right, so just get rid of that video so it's not talking in the background. So that's Mary Ray, and you can see that's purely clicker training. You know, there's no pressure, is there? So I thought what we might have a go is that process that she's just been going through. And you can see what she's changed. The only thing she's changed is where she gives her marker. Yeah, so she's marking as the dog. There's a dog in me way. You're pathetic. It's very cute though, so have a treat. Now get up. Come on, get up. So we're going to do what she did. So we're going to take the dog all the way behind us. Yes, and pay here. So they've still got to finish that behaviour, that coming all the way straight. Yeah? So you're the wrong way round. So let's just throw you away. So we've got the dog coming all the way behind me. Yes, but she's got to come in to finish that position to get that reward. Does that make sense? So it's her that's doing the back end work. There's lots of different ways to get to the same solution, to get that back end working, moving itself. None of which are wrong. All of them work better for some dogs, work better for others, you know. And once you've got your cue in place to tell the dog what position it is and what it's called, then you can start to fade that massive hand signal. You can start to get rid of that, but you don't get rid of it completely. So again, so fade it so it's a littler movement, and then fade it so it's a tinier movement, and then fade it completely and just put your hand straight into position with the verbal cue. Remember where they come to for the reward is going to dictate what that position looks like when it's finished. So if they're getting paid away from you, they're going to think that's where they need to end up. So we need to make sure that hand is nice and tight into the position we actually want them to go to. A little bit awkward when your spaces are so narrow. So it's something to practice when you've got a bit more room so they can really swing their back ends and they can be moving that back end. There's some nice back end movement there from Maria. Sid was just about to do it on her own because she's kind of saying, just let her. So little movements of those back feet to bring themselves back straight into you, into your body position. All right, and remember that's hard work for the dog. Back end work is really hard work for them. So that's why I think you're getting a little bit of frustration behavior there with Sid, Andrea. So we're getting a bit snarky and a bit upset with it. So let's do the easy stuff again. So we're going to do the counting, moving game. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, pay. 1, 2, pay. Yeah. When they're better at it, we could start to say, I'm only going to pay when your back end stays with me. But at the moment, they're not ready for that. Okay. And we're going to go 1, 2, pay. 1, 2, 3. So we saw there, we're getting natural turning of that body. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So I think, I don't know whether or not that's insulting, but I think it's a little bit like that box dance we used to do. I'm doing a little box. I think they might all be cooked. Well, except Remy, who's just working, work me, work me, work me. So we're getting natural back end movement just because we're doing that, but we're also making sure we're rewarding with the head position for each movement. Wow, look at you go, Sid and Andrea. You almost didn't have to give that full turn then, did you? You watched that, when you watched that bit back, that was lovely. She really moved her back end. Yes, nice. Fancy. Fancy schmancy. I was just watching Maria and then her video's just gone still. Okay, so we'll call that a day for now. If you do get a chance, go trawling for Mary Ray videos, because I think, and she does some where she actually talks you through step by step. She's a little bit of a faffy trainer, I guess, a bit like me. She'll be on one subject and then suddenly she's on another subject and you're like, ah. So she can be a bit tricky to follow. So you sometimes have to watch the video a few times through. But things I want you to take away from when you do watch them, she's one of the first people some 20 plus years ago in that field who was training dogs to do freestyle, the dance work, with no punishment, no aversives at all. It was all purely clicker train and food reinforcement. And she was having to battle against people who were, you know, still saying, well, you have to jerk your dog or you have to tell them off when they're in the wrong position or whatever. So she's like a massive leader. And then when she started winning out of the Crufts, and if you manage to see any of her Crufts wins videos, they're like magic. You know, her dogs are trained just so beautifully. And the first time I watched them, and I still do now, sometimes they just make me cry because the dogs are so happy. These dogs are just want to be there, want to be involved. So if you get a chance, have a look at Mary Ray. You'll have to do a little bit of digging like I just did, but she has got YouTube videos up on there. All right, let's have a look at that baby boy. Here's my sweetie. He's very fluffy. Where's his muck and his stinky stuff? You've not let him out today, have you?
He's just come in. He's just come in, haven't you? Hey? Just weed on the path. Weed on the path. He's a right chunk. He had his injection on Friday, his second one, and he's 9.8 kilos at 11 weeks. He's just a right chunky monkey, aren't you?
So he's going to be out hassling the world soon then as well.
Yeah, next weekend. What are you looking at? Wait, don't try. Oh no!
What's he done?
He's bloody. I don't know what he's done, but I can't see anybody.
Oh no. we can still see you and hear you.
Oh, I don't know what he's done. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see anybody.
Oh.
He's a little sod. Oh well. He wanted to be with his sister.
Let me down. I'm not a cuddly puppy.
No. Too busy. He's too busy.
Yeah, I've got stuff to do. Anyway, I better go because I've got other humans that I need to train.
Thank you for a good class.
That's all right. I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, she really
Thank you.
responded well.
Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome. Right, darlings.
Bye-bye.
See you
Sammy,
later.
See you later. Sammy, are you needing to speak to me or not? You're all right. You don't need me. Yeah.
Yes. Don't go.
Oh, all right, darling. Okay. So I did think that maybe you looked a bit like you were. Judith's having trouble leaving. Oh, I can't remember how to let her out. No, can't remember how to let Judith out. She's going to have to figure it out herself. She might not even know that she's still in, to be honest, because she's used to me doing it, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
She's done it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you look like one to word, so I'll just get the chair so I don't have to live on my knees.
Yeah.
Let my lady back in as well. Who's asking to come in? Maria, why don't you come back into the waiting room? That's weird. Shall we let her in and find out what she wants?
If you want to.
She might, and again, she might not know that her camera's, her thing's still connected to because
Sure.
we might get a rude view of her. Hello, darling. You still there?
Sorry about that.
All right, darling.
Missed the end.
We've actually said goodbye to everybody when you finally come in, but then I thought, well, I better just let you in and say goodbye.
Bye.
You know how to get yourself out?
Uh,
I'll have it.
yeah. Bye.
There we go. Sorry. So did you have questions or something about that?
Not what he can do, like he'll do the round and he'll do the back and he'll do everything, but it gets so he's getting frustrated with me, if you know what I mean. When we're trying to do things, I lose him.
Yeah, that's fine. So what you do with dogs that are tending towards frustration is first consider what might be the cause. And the cause can be that something is uncomfortable. So you always have to consider pain. You know, is it something that they're finding hard to do? That the dog doesn't feel that they're understanding it, and that's irritating them. So they feel like they're getting it wrong.
Yeah.
And they want to try harder, but they can't figure out how to get it right. So that frustrates them.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, obviously, for both of those reasons, reduce the number of times you ask for that behavior.
Okay.
Yeah. Reduce initially the criteria that you're aiming at, so make it easier to get it right.
Yeah.
And as a result, your reward frequency will be going up.
Yeah.
All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for that first session, less attempts. Yeah.
Yeah.
At a reduced criteria.
Yeah.
Then you can start to increase your criteria, but keep the number of times that you offer the opportunity to earn that reward. You can keep that low. Does that make sense? So you're not asking for as much work, but you're asking for a slightly more difficult goal.
Okay. Yeah.
To begin with, drop everything back and see if that improves that frustration.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing to do is to put smaller steps between your criteria. So when you're making your plan, if your plan, like with Twiggy, my plan is that eventually, as soon as I move my body, she's going to move her back end to come back in line with me. That's my final goal. Yeah. She's going to be able to do that through a full 360. My initial goal might be that I wanted just to start to move her back end.
Yeah.
And I might jump from that step to I wanted to move her back end 2 steps so that she's at a quarter angle to me.
Mm.
Yeah. But that might be too much of a jump from there to that next goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably it, actually, because it is after you've started, you'll do a few and he'll sort of be there with me and he'll be trying to do it himself. And then he sort of like gets fed up of trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the other thing is have a look at when you're marking. So, and I'd forgotten that bit actually until I watched that Mary Ray video. Marking movement rather than marking position. So when she was talking about giving the marker for the fact that they'd earned the reward, she was marking them while their back end was moving into position.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the reward was finishing that position.
Right. So that goes against the mark reward straight away then, doesn't it?
Well, we can have a gap between mark and reward without losing anything, can we?
That's the bridging, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't have to get your mark in at exactly the right time. Your mark and your reward don't have to be at the same time. They can be within 2 or 3 seconds of each other, as long as they're predictable for the dog. So if I go out here and I click here, but the reward is here, she's finishing that position, isn't she? So I take her out there and I click as she moves in, but I reward here.
Yeah, yeah.
She's finishing to come into the position, but what I'm actually marking is the movement to get into that position.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm waiting for, I think I'm putting too much pressure on him being in the right place before I mark it.
Yeah, and I think that you have a plan, you set up what your next step's going to be, but not every dog is going to be able to get to it in the same number of steps.
Yeah.
That's all. So you have to add smaller divisions into your requirements for that particular dog or for that particular behavior that you're trying to. What you've got to have, though, is a clear picture of where you're starting and what your end goal looks like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't say, I want to be able to do this so that I can then build on this, and then I can then build on this, and then I can then build on this. So if you look at Jill, for her, we added the extra step of just mark for head turn.
Yeah.
Because what was happening there was the dog was reluctant to turn her head, and if she doesn't turn her head, her body is going to want to go straight backwards.
Yeah.
Which means that her back end is not going to start moving.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
All right. How are
Yeah,
you getting on with your studies and stuff? Is that all working out?
yeah.
You're starting to get frustrated by it.
No, I think I'm not. It's beginning to, I know it sounds stupid, but it's beginning to, like the phrases, the words, they mean something now. They mean, I'm not just reading it and then thinking, yeah, all right then. I'm reading it, I'm going, yeah, 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 in a more understanding way than just reading it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And remember that your brain, the way your brain functions with regards to learning is, you give your brain a piece of information and a couple of neurons go, ooh, that's interesting. And they'll tell everyone else. But, so imagine a crowd, yeah?
Yeah.
A couple of neurons get interested in this information and they tell the rest of the crowd, but the rest of the crowd, it's not anything they've really heard about, and it's not really interesting to them, so they don't get that excited about it.
Yeah.
But perhaps if you get a similar piece of information and you say it again, the next time you tell the neurons that are next to you, they go, hang on, I've heard something about this before. So then they pass the message on. Well, that third ring of neurons, they've never really heard anything about it.
Yeah.
So they're not that excited about it. So the third piece of information comes in, and it's like ripples. The third piece of information comes in that sounds similar, that works in a slightly different way. It excites those central neurons, and they tell the second guys who've heard something similar before. So that's quite interesting. So they tell the next set who go, I've heard something about that before. And
Right,
they tell the next set. Okay, and that's how learning works. That's how your brain works. So that familiarity that you're sensing now, consciously sensing, is because your brain's actually consciously sensing the fact that they've had similar information. You're starting to make these neural connections. You're starting to make these networks of people in this who are now interested in this subject.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. And it is getting, and it's getting more exciting to learn as well. It's getting,
oh God, it's horrible. The thing is, you'll find yourself going, I didn't know that. And then, I mean, now I've set myself up, I've got to watch fucking Mary Ray videos later. You know, as if I haven't got enough stuff to do. I've got all these other virtual dog trainers to watch yet. And I've still got all the stuff from the big seminar that there's loads left on that big seminar that I took the week off for at the end of last year. Oh, and I signed up for another course, a free course, the other day.
you do realise there is only 24 hours in a day?
No.
No, well, I've got news for you. And some of that you do need to sleep as well.
I do sleep every now and then.
Yeah, a couple of hours here and there.
anyway, I better go because I'm going to be late for that next one.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much as normal.
That's all right. I realised that we haven't actually had a catch up for a while, and I don't want you to feel like you're not getting your money's worth.
I'm not paying.
No, there aren't you? Because whenever you get a chance, you're coming in and you're being an assistant, and I'm sure that you're not just standing around chatting. I can imagine you're doing washing up and brushing and all sorts of other helpful things. So
It's really good, and it's like I said to Dawn, the horrible bit is because I only go like a couple of hours a week. It'll take me 4 weeks to like put a day in.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't it? If you know what I mean. So I'm getting what I could learn in a day. It takes me 4 weeks.
But life changes, you know.
Yes.
We're not in a condition. Yes, we could do with a person to help full time, absolutely, and I think Dawn needs that support. But we're not in a position to pay somebody.
No. I don't want paying.
And at some point, hopefully, if we can keep hold of the business and keep it going, then we will be in a position to pay somebody. And you know, hopefully at that point, your free time will also coincide.
Yeah.
Not wanting to wish
Fingers
anybody,
crossed.
you know, not wishing anybody dead, because that's not the point.
Yeah.
You know, at some point the two will cross over.
Yeah. And that's exciting. That's part of the drive as well, isn't it? That's part of, because it's kind of nice that I've got this time to learn as well. You know, so which is going to be a bonus all round, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I have to shut my anxiety up because obviously you're doing it all fresh, which means you're some of the stuff that I've obviously forgotten and you forget that you're forgetting, you'll be coming in with, and then I'm going to go through that. Oh my God, I'm so crap. I hadn't realized I'd forgotten so much, and here she is, and she's got all this information, and then, you know, and that's going to put me again on the back foot. And what I've got to remember is that actually that's also a benefit to me, because it then should make me want to spark ahead and improve again and learn the stuff again.
But what you've got to remember is, you've just said it yourself, it's stuff that you forgot. So it's not new stuff, it's stuff that you've got. You've already got that knowledge, it's just bringing it back out amongst all the other knowledge that you've got.
There's some little neuron sitting in the background going, yeah, she'll look at me in a minute. Yeah. Excuse me, no, you don't need me, all right. I'm here when you need me. It's not, you don't lose it, you don't lose the knowledge. The neurons don't, well, obviously some of them do die. I'm getting older, so some of them will be lost forever. But they'll usually, if you've learned something well, it'll be in the background sort of going, excuse me, I know something about.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when they say it's on the tip of your tongue. It's because that neuron at the back going, does anybody want to pass this information to the front? Excuse me, I've got that bit of information. Does anybody want to take this to the front?
Yeah.
And everybody else is like, no, we don't need that anymore. We told you ages ago, we don't use that anymore. No? So, yeah, neurons are hilarious.
Excellent. No, it's good. Right, you better go.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right, see you very soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.